음. never been too good with goodbyes.
별 말씀 하죠. 알았어요.